would want to follow those specific rules. And we're going to get into a little bit more detail about how you'd apply the rules in a couple of minutes. But in terms of the 3 steps for designing a survey, the first thing you want to do is identify your objectives, which we've already talked about. Figure out exactly what it is that you want to learn from this survey. And then the next step is going to be actually creating the survey itself, which means developing the relevant questions. And so we'll talk about how you can do that and how you can avoid some of the common pitfalls that that we sometimes see in surveys that make the questions hard for people to answer or make the data less reliable. But once you've got a good set of questions and answers that you feel like are going to get at what you need to get at, then you want to test your instrument. So in other words, you never want to send out a survey as soon as you've completed it. But what you want to do is find a group of people who are as close as possible to the people that would actually be taking the survey and have them try it out. We sometimes call this piloting the survey because when we design questions, we know exactly what it is that we're asking. We know what we mean by every word in the question. We know what kind of information we're trying to get at. But however much we might try to be clear and concise and specific, it doesn't mean that someone else reading the question is going to look at it exactly the same way. So by testing the instrument, you get a group of people to look it over and tell you, okay, yeah, I was able to answer these questions. I think I knew what you wanted. I think I knew what the questions were asking, and I was able to answer them honestly. Or they'll tell you, you know what, I was really confused by this question, or I wanted to answer it a certain way, and that option wasn't there. And so they'll help you to kind of refine and revise your instrument until you've got something that really is going to be valid and reliable. Okay, in addition to some of those considerations in terms of the rules and the steps for devising a